What's up, fellow Bassheads? Husky Shane, Basshead here, back with another video. We are working on the Go-Kart again, the 2018 Mitsubishi Mirage, and today we're going to be installing some neon black lights under the dash and in the trunk area. Now, the reason we're doing that is because this box, the paint, all the colored paint that you see, supposedly is fluorescent. So I got the black lights, hopefully to make that box twinkly and sparkly and kind of glow in the dark looking. We'll see how it turns out, I'm not sure. But anyway, the lights are kind of purple, so they look good either way. But in this video, there's gonna be a couple of things that we're going over, and it's all in the process of installing the lights. One is, what lights did I use and how did I run the wire to the lights? Two is, we're going to be operating these lights with a rocker switch in the dash, show you how I installed that. And then three, we're gonna be using the rocker switch to initiate a relay, a 4-pin relay, and then that's what's gonna be powering the lights. So this video will kind of be like a start to finish of how I installed all of that. So if you're interested in that, please stick around. Okay guys, so these are the lights that we're going to be using. It's these little black lights. Came in a 10-pack. Don't see that they came with any kind of labeling. Anyway, all I did was get on Amazon and search 12-volt black light, and this is what came up. So this is what we're going to use in the car. On Amazon. Now watch this. If this ain't some messed up crap, I don't know. The black wire is actually the hot wire. See, watch this. If I do the white as the hot wire, which is what I would assume, let me see if I can. Okay. The white as the hot and the black as the ground. It's hard to do this with one hand, guys. Let's see, maybe hold this here and then that there. See, look, nothing happens. White, then I got the black over here. If I swap these out, okay, black here, white here, there, white, black, which who on earth would ever wire something with the black being the hot? I don't know, but whatever, that's how it is. All right guys, so what we're going to be doing today is using a 5-pin rocker switch in conjunction with a 4-pin relay to power a light. Now these are going to go in my car. I'm going to have some black lights in there that I want to be able to turn on and off with the switch, and that's what we're going to do here. So I'm just going to take you briefly through how to wire this up, and then we'll go to the car and put it in the car. So the first thing we're going to talk about is this rocker switch. Now you've got 5 pins on the back here, and you can see it's kind of split into two. This side and then this side. So this side is what operates your switch, the on-off mechanism of whatever it is that you want to turn on. This side operates this little light right here. Okay, so you've got your grounds at the top, then you have a 12 volt in here, and a 12 volt in here, and then out to whatever it is that you're powering on, or whatever it is that you want to turn on and off. Now you could just wire up this side like that, ground, 12 volt in, 12 volt out, but then your lights on the face of this wouldn't work, and so you wouldn't want to do that. So what a lot of guys do, and this is what we're going to do, is we're just going to run a jumper, ground to ground, hot to hot, and then power out. I'll also put in a diagram that I found online of how to do that. Now, another thing, now this is where I'm actually going to wire it up in my car. Instead of running a jumper from this 12 volt in to this 12 volt in, I'm actually going to run another 12 volt in here from my switched power from my radio. The reason for that is, if you just jump this from here to here, this light will be on all the time. Whether the car is on, whether the car is off, this light will be on. Well, and obviously you don't want that, because you're going to drain your battery. You don't want that light on all the time, because it's just going to be running right from your constant 12 volt. You could run an inline switch there if you wanted to. I don't want to do that. Some guys will run this pin coming from their dash lights, so that when they turn their lights on, when it's dark outside, it will also illuminate this light. What I'm doing is I'm running it from the switch power from my stereo. That way, anytime the stereo is on, this light is on. But for demonstration purposes, we're just going to run a jumper. Okay, so that's how that works. Then we're going to use a relay, 4-pin relay, and I found these on Amazon. They come with a little fuse. I really like these. If you just go into Amazon and type 4-pin relay, you should get a bunch of hits for this. Now, I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, there we go. So you've got a 30, an 86, an 85, and an 87. So what I always like to do is just write out what each one does. The 30 is the 12 volt coming in. The 85 is the ground. The 86 is your switch in, and that's going to be coming from this. Our switch in is going to be coming from this pin right here, going from here to pin 86. Then your pin 87 is what goes out to the light. Again, I'll put up a wiring diagram of how to operate this. Or how to wire that, excuse me. And one thing that's really nice about this particular relay that I bought is it comes with a plug. I really like these. It just makes your life a lot easier. And it even makes it easier to kind of visualize, because your 12 volt in is red and your ground is black. I mean, it doesn't get much easier than that. For demonstration purposes though, we're not going to be using this. We're just going to wire this up, and like I said, I like to make a little chart for myself, and I even have these labeled red, black, white, blue. Red, black, white, blue. That way I don't get lost when I'm wiring this up. Okay, so why do we do that? Why do we not just run 12 volt into this switch and then 12 volt out to the light? Well, I mean, you could do that. You don't technically need this. You could just run 12 volt in, 12 volt out, and then just turn it on and off with the switch, and then not have to use this at all. But what you're doing then is you're running all those amps through this switch. Now, I don't know how much amperage this switch can handle, but they're really not designed for that, right? And I'm gonna have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm gonna have 6 lights in my car that is run on this switch. So I don't want to run the risk of burning up this switch or burning up the wire that is running to the switch. Like, I don't want to start any fires, so that's why you use something like this. This is where the amperage is going through. This is taking it straight from your battery and then sending it out of this switch, or out of this relay. The only thing this is doing is handling the voltage necessary to operate this, which is very low. So that's why you do this. You use this to handle all your current, and you use this to turn this on. Okay, so let me get it wired up here on our test bench, and then we'll do a little demonstration. Okay guys, so here's what we have. We have our battery. This is actually a super cat bank that I built. I'll have another video on that later, but basically here's the positive side, here's the negative side. So you can see our relay, we've got a positive and a ground running right to the appropriate pins on that. We've got the 30 here, and then the 85 here, positive ground. Then we got the switch in coming from the relay, or excuse me, coming from the rocker switch, and then the switch out going to our light. Okay, so power, 12 volt in. Now you should have a fuse on this, and I will have a fuse on this. Pin 30, power, 12 volt in. Pin 85, ground. Pin 86, switch in. Right, when I hit this switch, it sends current into this switch, and then it sends it out this pin, which is 87, to your light. Okay, so that's how that works. Now this, again, we have a power and a ground coming into the switch itself, grounded up here at the top, power down here at the bottom. Now you can see how our little light is on. That's what I was talking about, and I can demonstrate that to you. Here's the light side. If I pull this ground, the light goes off. So we'll put it back on. All right, so now you can see what I'm talking about. The light comes on because I just ran a jumper from this hot to this hot. So that means this light is on all the time. Well, like I said, I don't want that. I'm gonna be instead of running a jumper, I'm gonna run another 12 volt in here coming from the switch power of my radio. So, but that's how that looks. That's how you get that to operate. And then this, when I hit this switch on, sends a signal, sends current through this white wire into my relay, turns the relay on, then sends power to my light, okay? And then the light, of course, is grounded right there, right here, okay? So what should happen if I hit this switch is that light should come on. And there we go. See, and you can see this light comes on too, telling me that my accessory is on. Let's make one more demonstration here. If I pull this, again, we're removing current from this side of the switch. Turn this on. My speaker light still comes on. My device still comes on. But all you're getting rid of is this light down here at the bottom. So that kind of gives you a visual of like this side of your rocker switch operates your device and your indicator light. This side of your rocker switch operates this light. So yes, you could wire it without this side, but I mean, I don't want to do that. I want to make use of the functions that the device has. So anyway, that's what our circuit's going to look like in the car. Using a switch to turn on a relay to send power to a light. So where we're going to mount these relays, I don't know if you can, yeah, right there. There's a little, come on. There's a little threaded hole right there. I have no idea what it's for. There was nothing mounted there ever, as far as I'm aware. You can't see it because it's behind all these wires, but there's another one behind that wire cluster there. So there's two of them in there, and that's just right behind the stereo. And I just happen to have the right bolt to go in there. I just kind of pulled this out of my assortment, and it fits that hole. So that's where we're going to mount those relays, kind of the way that one is mounted right there. I'm going to have a couple others mounted, one right there and one right on that other side. All right, so let me show you the progress I got on wiring these lights up. It is a rat's nest in here. It's going to get all cleaned up. I'm just going to kind of show you what circuit I got and how I wired all this up. So this is what I have. I have a power here and a power here. This big one goes to the relay, and this smaller one goes to the switch, and they're fused, you can see. So we got power going to this relay, and then we got power out right here going to all the lights. This yellow one goes to the back lights. These two red ones go down to the lights in the front. Okay, of course that's grounded and that's hot, right? That's coming in from the fuse box. You can see that great big fat red wire, then the great big fat black wire. That's your 12 volt and your ground. Okay, so how does that thing get turned on? Well, that's this guy right here that runs through the dash and over to the switch. So you can see the switch has its own power and ground. But then, let's see, where are we at? Yeah, right here. When I hit the switch, it sends a signal to the remote, or to the signal in, the remote in on this relay, and then the relay sends the 12 volt out to the lights. So the only thing that the switch is doing is activating the relay. So when I hit this, see, now you can see glowing purple. It's glowing purple down there. Glowing purple back there. All right, so that's how that circuit works. As you can see, it is a rat's nest and needs cleaned up. Another thing I'm going to show you that I'm going to do, I'm going to bring in another line, this one. This one is going to come off the remote on the back of my radio. That's what this second relay is going to be doing. That way when my remote turns on, or when my radio turns on, I'll get these lights right here that tell me what these buttons do. See, if I turn that off, there's no light at all. But I'm going to have it where when I turn my stereo on, this accessories and this speaker, the light comes on. So anyway, it's coming along, almost done. Just kind of got to put everything back in now the way that it's supposed to go. Okay, so you guys might notice that I've got two of those relays under that dash. I do, you're right. One of them is the circuit that I demonstrated that I'm using to power my lights. The second one is what I'm using as a remote turn on for my DSP under the seat, the amp under that seat, the 4-channel amp under the passenger seat, and then these two turn on lights here. Again, I want to use a relay so that I know I have enough juice to do all of that. I've seen people say that you can just run that remote wire to a whole bunch of different things, but in my experience, you can't. I've tried that before without a relay coming off the back of the stereo, and I've had issues with the wire getting too hot, burning up, or the accessories not turning on, etc. So I usually like to just run the remote wire from the stereo to a relay, then I can come from that relay to whatever I want. you know, or to as many things as I want to just operate as my turn on function. So that's how that's wired. And that's why there's 2 relays under the dash instead of just 1. So guys, this is what I mean when I say to get these to come on with the radio. All I did was wire them, wire the power for these bottom lights from the remote turn on from the stereo. So stereo is off, car is off. Now if I turn the key, right, stereo comes on, those lights come on. So let me show you what I have here, guys. What I did was I just drilled some holes. This is this piece right here, but on the other side, drilled some holes. These lights fit in those holes real nicely. I just ran these together on a common positive. We'll wire that up a little bit later. Then I have them on a common ground that goes right up to the factory ground in the car right there. So I'm just going to kind of let this run out right here, and then whenever I'm ready to wire them up, I'll have my hot ready to go and everything will be grounded already. Okay guys, so you can see I've got this side set up already with these black lights. Got 2 of them right there. Let me just kind of show you how I did this. I put a hole here. This one's already installed. I just used one of these step bits. Now these are made for sheet metal, but that doesn't really matter. It put a pretty good hole through there. And then I removed the rubber boot because I could not get this in that hole altogether. It would this rubber boot would like bunch up. So the way I've done this, if I can do this with one hand, yeah, put the rubber boot in there first, so you make sure that it's what you want on the back, okay? And then take the light, there, see? Perfect. 1 light, 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights. That's how we got that done. That's what it looks like on the back. And that's in there pretty good. Here are my lights. I've got, where's it at? 1, yeah, 1 right up in here. There's 1 there. There's 1 right there. Let's see, let's go around. Well, then there's these that you guys saw. This one, that one, that one, that one. Okay. And then there's another one right here. So it shines down on your feet. Can you see that? Yeah. So it's going to be shining down here, over there, and then in the back. See right in there. Like I said, there were bolt holes already there. I don't know what used to be mounted there, but they were great to mount relays. So I got, yeah, fireworks. So we got some grounding locations right there too. Okay, so then if you follow all of this down, you see that big bundle. Got all this pulled out. The bundle goes right up there to the fuse block. I still got to zip tie some of this other stuff in place, but you guys get the idea. Now let's see if we hit this. Ah, yeah, look at that. Got some purple lights. That's very cool too. Okay, well, coming along. coming along. Okay, lights under the seats. Finished product. We hit our switch, got purple light there, got a purple light over there, got purple lights in the back. Ooh, yeah, those are bright. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, yeah. Very cool. So that's going to look really nice when we have those fluorescent. My box is painted in all fluorescent, like splatter paint. So hopefully that's going to be glowing in the dark. It's going to be cool. Going to be cool. I'm happy with it, and it looks very neat, right? Like these little bitty, I don't know, little pocket lights. It looks very subtle, very inconspicuous, you know, like I like that. You don't see a great big light bar right here or something. So those came out good. I'm happy with it. I'm happy with it. Got this one up under here. And then got this one up under here. All right, guys, well, as always, thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. Every watch, every like, every comment. I mean this when I say I appreciate it. Thank you. Like, share, subscribe, you know, do all the things. And just like my last video, I'm gonna try to put in links of all the products that I bought. I order most of my stuff on Amazon. I'm also gonna put a link to my Basshead coffee mug that I'm selling on Amazon. If you guys want to buy that, it's a cool looking mug. I'd greatly appreciate it. It would be a way that you could support me. I've got another business where I do drop shipping on Amazon. So if you like it, order it. If not, that's cool too. Anyway, thanks for watching.